Hey y'all, whether it's morning, evening, or afternoon, I'm just glad that you guys had decided to vibe with E. Yes, the one and only E. Hey y'all, hope y'all feeling amazing, doing amazing, and if not, it's okay, it's alright. Bad times don't last forever because after every storm there is the rainbow. Okay? So it's in honor of Women's Month and Social Work Month. I'm so proud to have these amazing guests on here to talk about social work. In honor of Social Work Month, is needed to have people that's in the field and in the process of getting into the field. So I'm so excited for you guys to meet my lovely guest here who is going to tell us their experience about social work, why they chose it, and things of that nature. So without further ado, I want you guys to sit back, relax, and enjoy watching or listening to the show on YouTube, podcast apps, whatever one. So as always, turn this up because as always, every vibe of the day is something special. So this is the fourth vibe so far, but this is the second vibe of the month in honor of Women's Month and Social Worker Month. So without further ado, I'm going to let my guests have the floor.
Hi, I'm Miss Tracy. Pleased to meet everyone.
Hi, I'm Nishawn Dean. Nice to see everyone.
I'm Nimesha Dean. Hello.
And today I want you guys to give us a little information about y'all guys that you want the people to know about before we dive into the discussion for today.
Okay, I am a non-traditional student who decided, to go back to school and get my degree. I graduate May the 17th with these lovely ladies. We are waiting. We are cutting down. Just a pleasure to be able to come here and give back everything that I have learned, witnessed, and experienced. So I'm excited to share with you guys.
Thank you kindly.
Okay. Hello, I'm Nimesha. I am a senior at Morgan State University, social work major. Some little fun facts about me: I'm a DJ, so parties, get at me.
Yes.
But yeah, I'm enjoying my social work learning experience so far. Just getting to know, taking in all the information that I can, and when I get in the field, I want to be prepared and can help everybody in the community. So, yeah.
Hey.
And I'm Nishawn Dean. I am Nimesha's mom. I am an alumni of Morgan State University. My major is social work. I have my bachelor's. I am hoping to be enrolled in the fall 2025 master's program. And I am in the field of social work.
Yes. So y'all see, we have a lot of black excellence, especially for women's month, okay? I'm telling y'all, I know people in high places, okay? So without further ado, as always, let's get into it. So our topic for today is social work, and we're going to start off with you two lovely ladies on why the area of social work. Because they tell us all the time, why do you want to be a social worker? What was the passion and stuff? And things are different now that we see because, like, back then, it was out there. Like, for us, it's like, why you want to be a social worker? Like, what's the reason? Because they, like, for us, younger generation, all they want is the money. But that's not the case. So tell us a little bit about that.
Well, for me, okay, so I graduated in high school from Dover, Delaware, 1989. Yes, it's been a minute. When I graduated, my career choice was nursing. I went to Delaware State for a year. Failed out because got hooked up with the wrong crew, naturally. Moved here in 1991, and actually my career was again nursing. Went to Sojourner Douglas. They closed down. So I was already previously working at Department of Social Service. Actually, I left in August of last year to pursue this career, but I was there for 20 years. 20 years. I was doing the work, but wasn't getting the pay. So by me doing the work, everyone kept saying, Tracy, go back and get your degree. Like, you're doing the work. You're doing the work. I didn't want to be a social worker, and I'm keeping it real. But then after that became my passion, after the nursing, after the passing of my daughter, it was no longer a passion for me. So I started going back to school, and here I am. I'm ready to graduate. So it's been a long 20-year experience. And then I can truthfully say, growing up, I was in a foster home, right? My mom had me young in a foster home. I was number 79th child that she raised. She adopted me and another guy who considered my brother, but we were the only two that she adopted. So she raised actually 84. I was number 79, yes, and there was a big article in the Delaware State News about her being a foster mom. So why not give back to the community? Desperately needed. So that's where I come from, of being a social worker.
Wow, that is
Amazing.
yes. Oh my gosh.
Yes.
That is so crazy. The crazy thing is, y'all, I met Miss Tracy at Morgan as well.
Yes.
And I believe is once we came in the program as well.
Yes.
I remember seeing you in policy.
Yes.
And it automatically from there, it was like that same. Well, with
Yes.
Nimesha, the crazy thing is, me and my Nimesha live on the same neighborhood. And never knew until we had diversity.
Yeah.
It was so crazy because, like, from that point, it was like, wow. Because, like I said, previous with the episode I had with Chrissy, I didn't think I was gonna make friends at Morgan because, like, you know, growing up with when other females around is like, do I want to say hello to her? Is she gonna be my friend? But then when I met y'all, it was like, wow, they can't get rid of me. I can't get rid of them.
The same
So
way with me. Like, coming back to school at this age, I mean, I'm proud. I'm 54 years old. You know, I made the decision to come back to school, and I was scared. It was a scary experience. Fear of the unknown. But I can truthfully say everyone took me in. You know, several I took under me.
Yes.
Nimesha, Erica, they are my babies, okay? And they call me Mother Tracy,
Yes.
Mom Tracy. And I love it to be able to witness everyone looking up at me as the oldest one in the class. You know, it's by God's grace and mercy that I do believe that everything that is ordained shall be. Shall be. So it's an experience. And they make sure that I am okay.
Yeah.
And if I'm not okay, I'm shooting a text. Look, guys, I need help. Or I may help. Or Erica, I need your help. Somebody's gonna help me tonight. And without a shadow of a doubt, they do. They make sure I'm okay. We make sure we are okay. That's how it is, right?
Yep. I love it too. Like, I love how, like I said too, I was scared when I transferred. I was like, just coming from an environment of being around other cultures that you barely see people like you, to be in an environment and having to see people like you and in the same passion that you have, it was like, this is good. It felt good. So I'm glad. I'm really, really glad that I met y'all and that we have built a friendship that turned into family. Because it's hard. It is very hard to find friends and build those friendships with trust and things like that. So yeah, we help each other. We're here for each other, and I'm glad for that. I think so. Very, very much.
Yes.
Now, Miss Dean, we like to hear your experience.
Well, I can tell you, I think social work chose me. I did not choose it. In the beginning, when I started out, I knew I wanted to help, but I didn't know what area I was going to go in. My major started out in nursing also, and then went from nursing to physical therapy. And so it was like, okay, and I left from high school, went to a community college, finished up there. When I wanted to get into the physical therapy program, it was like, oh, you gotta wait a year, they only accept a certain amount of students. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna graduate in general studies. And then from there, that's when Nimesha and her dad and I, we married that a month later. And so I was like, okay, he graduated from Morgan State too. He has his engineering degree. And I was like, okay, I only have my associates. And my mom always said, listen, you have to get your education. You have to be equally yoked. You know, yes, the man provides, but you need your own because you have to be able to stand on your own. And it was a pride thing because I was like, oh, I need to make sure I can level up. You know, back then it wasn't leveled up. It was like, I gotta be on, but it's level up now. So I just kept pushing forward, married, had my first child, and still went to school. And had my second child, still went to school.
Dedication.
Had my third child in my belly. She was in every class with me in Jenkins Hall.
Oh man,
That's old school.
That is the humble beginnings. I could not fit in those chairs. I had to bring my little lawn chair and turn that seat around. But I graduated. And I was like, okay, what am I going to do from here? I'm going to get a job in social work. The experience of it, I worked in addictions. And that is very tasking. Anyone who knows, it was like me trying to understand it. And the relapse is a part of the recovery. And I was like, oh, do I want to be in this area? And then I went back to that social work one-on-one. You have to know your boundaries. You have to know where you will be effective at. And is this going to be right for you? And I said, nope, that is not right for me. So once I graduated, I started into the nursing home. And I was a social worker there. I loved it. Then I said, I like certain parts of the nursing home facility, but all parts I don't, and then all parts are the mixed population. So it was like, well, what population do I want to work in? Do I want to work with the younger generation or your older generation? Then I found my sweet spot. I want to work with your aging population. And so that's where it took form from there. I always knew I wanted to work with my seniors and help them continue to what they put into the system, they can get out of it. When they don't have a family, I could be that support system for them, and just make their last days on this earth, a great thing. So that's what I am, a social work for the aging population.
That is so good.
Yes.
That sounds really, really good. I'm lost with questions now.
It's one of them things I can tell you, you don't get in it for the money. It is truly something that is in you, that you have to have a heart for it.
Yes.
There's a lot of sleepless nights, but I think the sleepless nights come in with a lot of people when either you're always thinking about what can I do next for that person, or did I do enough? That's the only, because I don't go to bed where I have sleepless nights of I didn't do what I was supposed to do, right thing. There's not going to be sometimes always a resolve to something, but I did my all. But it is a field, sometimes it's thankless, but the reward comes later. My mother would say, rest her soul, you don't get your reward here on earth. And I truly understand the meaning of those words now. You don't get it here. You don't get it here. You have to do good by people. And I feel like the social work field, we're in it, and we are good people that do good by people.
And it's so crazy because, like, it's not many male social workers. As you see, it's always women. And I think too, because like you said, with women, well, with people in general, like, you have to have a certain feel of doing this for people. And I feel like for women, by nurturing and stuff, that's your zone right there. Be a social worker. Because like, also I want to step into internships that prepares you. Morgan prepares you for the field. And I'm not gonna lie, when they threw it to us last semester about internship, I was like, I knew it was coming, but I didn't know it was coming this fast. Because when you're in the process of preparing for it, when we stepped in the program, we was like, the school was like, look, we ready to graduate.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm ready to graduate, but I want to learn as much as I can
Mm-hmm.
because this is something I want. Like,
Mhm.
I did community college too, general studies too, minored in human counseling. And I was like, okay, now let's see what the social work program talking about.
Mm-hmm.
I got in it. I said, okay, this for me. My favorite courses was Black families and domestic violence. I'm quick to use the sources for Professor Green and Dr.
Yes.
Thurman.
Yes.
I'll be like, look, and a little bit of Dr. Daniels with his human behavior stuff. So I was like, okay, I'm getting to it. And then by me, my population I want to deal with is children. Because I know how it feels to be like elementary, middle school population where you're going through so much. And it's so hard for you to tell the people you love because like you don't know how it would come. And then you have social workers and the counselors that's there. But I feel like mainly the social worker has it all intact because like all different areas they know what's going on. And that's what they teach us within the internships and stuff. Shout out to my supervisor because she be on my bag. It's so bad. Like when I started, she was like, you know, I'm gonna put you out there, right? I'm like, what you mean you gonna put me out there? She's like, I'm gonna put you out on the field to let you know, look, this how it is, this how it is. She go by the term, call me J Bird. I was like, I don't know what that means. But J Bird, she was like, J for shoes, cause how the shoe addiction is. And Bird, cause I'm letting you fly, and you fly. And like, I used to be like, that's so corny. But now, like, I feel it because, like, by her teaching me and guiding me, it gave me the opportunity to start groups for the girls, and they love it. Like, at times, sometimes I'm like, did I do enough? And then I'll be like, I don't know. So we're going to step into internship, because I know, like, this could be a roller coaster ride. It's a roller coaster ride.
Yes, it is.
So how, now Misha, because you've been so quiet, how is internship impacting you as you prepare to be in the field?
Well, it's a funny thing because at my internship, I'm not where the population that I want to be. I want to work with special needs children, but I will say, as time has gone on, I started off, I'm like, I'm just doing this to pass. I'm not gonna lie. But as time has gone on, I've learned so much from the people around me. I don't know, agent might be, up there. If special needs don't work, I'm starting to feel it now. But it's definitely opened my mind to being diverse in a way, instead of sticking to like, okay, well, I have my mindset on this one population. I get here and I'm like, okay, I think I can rock with it. I mean, I have not had a bad experience with a client yet.
Wow.
And everyone that I've worked with, they've been welcoming. Even I just started taking on my own cases at home visits, and they're so patient with me. They're like, I understand, like, if I can't get the documents scanned right away, they don't mind giving me the paper again. They're like, here you go. But they're accepting and they're understanding to the fact that I'm still learning. And so I really like it. I feel like it's definitely preparing me for when I do step out into the field, when I do graduate. So I'm grateful for the fact that I didn't stay closed-minded. Like, I opened up my horizons and said, okay, this ain't really what I want to do, but I stepped out and like, I kind of like it. Like, so
And that's the beauty of social work. It's
everywhere.
It's in everything.
Everywhere.
Everything. Hospitals. They even have business social workers. They're everywhere. And we're needed everywhere. Like, and I like how you said, like, that I'm not going to stay stagnant in the one place, because I thought about high school, thought about nursing homes, and even with you with Roberta's house. And we're going to jump right into Roberta's house.
Okay, Roberta's house. Okay, so actually, by me working at DSS, Baltimore County Department of Social Service, I kind of didn't want to intern there because I could not work at the unit that I was at because it would have been a conflict of interest. So trying to navigate, okay, what do I want to do? How can I do? I knew trying for them to figure out me to work there 40 hours, take 4 classes, in-person classes, 3 of those are 3-hour long classes, and then intern 16 hours a week was a bit much. That was the reason why I just succumbed to just like, okay, I have come too far I know my body. To be able to do all of that is going to be a challenge.
Mm-hmm.
So I decided to quit my job. Back to intern. I had no idea what I was going to do. My second was Roberta's house. And when I got in, I did not realize that everything happens for a reason, right? My daughter passed away in 2011. I did not realize that I was still grieving. My ex-husband passed in 2015. I did not realize that I was still grieving. And it was not until I started interning at Roberta's house to realize. So my first semester, fall of 2024, right? I was only doing group on Thursdays. I work with adolescents. We were doing group from 4 to 6. It wasn't bad, but I'm gonna tell you something. This semester, I got into it. So on Thursdays, I'm doing 2 grief workshops at school, at a high school. 2 grief workshops at school. Come back to Roberta's house and doing my 3rd grief workshop on that Thursdays. So I'm kicking in 3 grief workshops that I'm helping co-facilitate on Thursdays. I'm doing 9.5-hour internship days on Thursday, rocking it out, looking up to God, thanking Him for giving me the strength. You don't realize why you're placed somewhere, you know, until you get in there and you get to realize, like, wow, so I'm there for a reason, to help give back to these kids the empathy that we as social workers are supposed to provide with them. Not just the empathy, but the sympathy. And to be able to relate to them, to be able to actively listen to them, and then provide support to them. Because a lot of these kids have lost parents, right? And I'm telling you, I had an experience this past Thursday where I had to deep dig down in my soul, and I had to use some personal real life experiences with a child, right? But at the end of that session, he called my name, and I didn't know what he was going to say to me. He came over and he gave me a hug, and he said, "Thank you," with tears in his eyes. When you have moments like that, you grab onto them and you hold them, and you thank God that you're able to be a blessing to somebody else. Because I'm going to tell you something, I didn't have that support. When my daughter passed away, everybody is always there for you at the beginning, right? But after that funeral is over, when you have those deep, dark days where you thinking that this person's going to be there for you, you don't have that support. And that's one of the reasons why I chose Roberta's house. And I, like Nimesha, I want to work with families who have children with disabilities. I didn't have that support when my daughter was born, and God rest her soul, she had major medical conditions, more than 2, right? I did not have that support. It was after she passed away, then I realized, oh man, I could have been receiving this help. These resources was out here I knew nothing about. Working at DSS had provided me with a lot of resources that I can give back to these families. And again, working there, you know, you cannot meet the needs of every family. But when you meet specific needs for some of these families, and your day is done, and you can wear that hat and proudly say, wow, I was able to successfully meet the needs of this family without having these kids removed from this home, right? You take moments like that and you hold on and you cherish, because not every family that you come in contact with or you're going to be able to meet those needs. So for me, that is the aha moment, like, wow, this is your assignment, right? This is where God is happy and pleased that you completed your assignment, and these kids are now able to stay in this home. They have food, they have lights, and the parents are meeting the needs. Something that you came in here purposely supposed to be have provided so that they can have these needs met, right? So Roberta's house is no joke. It is no joke, and I tell people I've seen a lot, I hear a lot, I'm exposed to a lot, I witness a lot, and I experience a lot. But it's a blessing to be able to be there for our kids, because especially in the urban environment, it is needed. And I thank God even for Roberta's house, because it is a mental health grief support center in the urban neighborhood,
in the heart of it.
in the heart of the neighborhood, that is needed. These children need this support. So for me, if I'm not dealing with grief and loss, then I'm definitely, and I'm even thinking about volunteer or trying to work there part-time to work with, continue working with these adolescents that needs the support. But definitely working with families with children with disabilities, because again, I myself was in that position, and people don't know what you go through, right? People don't have a clue to what families with kids with disabilities, special needs, what they need, the services they need. You know, it has been a challenge, but I thank God that I made it. It's nothing with my daughter that I can say I should have did, I wish I had did. I don't have to say that. I can truthfully say that everything that I did, I gave, I prepared. The doctors gave her 2 years to live. She lived 15 more. Because of the amount of care and the prayers that she received. So don't tell me what God can't do, right? So that's where I'm at. It's been a pleasure doing this internship. Yeah, I can truthfully say at this age, the burnout was real. But guess what? When you ask and pray for God to give you strength, He will do that. You know, sometimes I've had to take a couple mental health days here and there, needed. But I'm learning that mental health is needed, because I've seen times that I just kept going, pushing myself. But now I'm at an age where, guess what? You need to take that. But then worried about, okay, because guess what? At Morgan, we have 400 hours that we have to commit to doing, even before graduating. But I can truthfully thank God and say, guess what? I am at 300 and almost 50 hours. I'm doing it.
Right.
I'm doing it. So it's real though. It's real.
It's real in the field.
It's real.
It's real, yes. Especially, I'm glad you mentioned mental health, because I say all the time, and that's what the podcast is about, educating and wellness. We need it.
Yes.
Even though we're on the field, we out here, but we need it too.
Yes.
We need mental
self-care.
Yes, self-care
Absolutely.
is very, very important. Like, we're on spring break, but I was telling Tracy last night, I'm like, we were sitting there doing homework and stuff. I'm like, look, you need to take a day to yourself. Because, look, last semester, we all had our burnt out moments to the point where we were together in a room, like, what are we going to do? We looking at each other like, what are we going to do? I'm like, pick a day, hours, whatever, to whoop out, because it's needed.
It's needed.
Especially when we get in the field, dealing with whatever population, urban or all over, is needed. Like, I'll never forget too, our dean told us, like, we're here to serve, but we also need to be served too. Because it be times where you like, oh my gosh, I'm doing so good, but then it's like, you got stuff going on too. Like, mentally, I'm like, how they say, you gotta leave at the door because you gotta serve your people. But sometimes I be like, oh my God.
It's like, a lot.
It's a lot. How am I do this?
It's a lot.
It's like, how am I really put my best forward? And deep down, I'm like, I'm going through it. That's why I say all the time, counseling is needed. And I like how Morgan had the fact that we have counseling. I take advantage of that counseling every chance I get, because it's needed. They self-care. I tell y'all all the time, self-care. I don't care what y'all do, just as long as y'all enjoying yourself, because moments like this we won't get back.
Yes.
And they say in college is the best times of your life.
Yes.
Even though at times it's like, dang, work all the time, but it's like we're doing it for a purpose.
Mhm.
So when we get there, it's like, yeah, I remember this, but it helped me in the long run. So that was a very good point you pointed out, Miss Tracy. I'm so glad.
But this is my mental health because we text and we are all in a group chat. And Erica pointed out, like, I noticed you haven't been texting because I have been locked down. I have had no life for I don't know how long, right? like as she said, we have become family, right? And we check on each other. But I had to sit down and I had to plan out because, like I tell them, I'm way older than y'all. My brain don't operate the way that y'all brain or the way that it used to when I was in my 20s, my 30s, my 40s. It just don't. So for me, I had to be locked in, right? Because I know that we have so many assignments. We have so much stuff going on in the month of April. So it's like, okay, you know that this schedule is like, it's top notch right now. So this is my mental health break because if it had not been for this podcast, I would have been home. Schoolwork. That's all I did all day yesterday. So this is my mental health break. And I thank God that, you know, she reminded me. I was like, oh, shoot, Erica. She was like, and then next week, I'm like, oh, shoot. She like, welcome to the club of forgot.
Yeah.
Because it's a lot. When you rocking and rolling during the week, I have Monday field from 4 to 5:30. I have Tuesday practice 3 from 5:30 to 8:30. Then Wednesdays I have senior seminar from 10 to 12:50. Then I have chemical dependency from 5:30 to 8:30. Then Thursdays I'm at Roberta's house from 9 to 6:30. Then I come home. I'm back at Roberta's house on Fridays from 9 to 5. Saturday mornings I get up and take my grandbaby to ballet lessons from 9 to 11:30. When I'm finished that, I'm locked in. You know, it's like normally we go to the library or I'm working schoolwork at home. I don't have that, you know, and I've lost a lot of friendships. But I've gained friendships. You know, even for my birthday, I was pleased because they was like, "What you doing for your birthday?" I'm like, "Nothing." They was like, "No, we celebrating your birthday," and I'm like, "Y'all, I have so much work." They was like, "We all do," but I thank God they made me. Erica was like, sent me a picture. She said, "I need a review of this picture of you in this black dress." I was like, "Oh my God. I gotta find that dress," but guess what? It made me feel good. I got up, I did my hair, I put my clothes on, and when I stepped out that house, I felt like $1,000,000. And they all came out to celebrate me. Oh my God, I had like 3 things of roses. I had gifts. We just had a good time, and it was needed because I would not have taken the time to celebrate me. And I'm like, so even though I've lost a lot of relationships and friendships, but God let me know, guess what? But I sent some real ones to replace those fake ones. And guess what? I know what you need, and when you need, I'm gonna give you what you need, and I needed that. I needed that, but I'm locked and loaded, and I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm ready for this to be over. Tell you something. I was telling y'all when I first came in, I finally took that graduation cap and gown. And when I graduate, I will have 6 chords. Period. Period. GPA is 3.534. Period. Okay. I took that cap and gown out of that plastic and I hung it up with that 1 cord for now, and I said, "This is your vision board." Because guess what? I didn't work hard. I didn't have many sleepless nights. I didn't had early mornings. I done came with some energy drinks in me, and when I got to class, they was like, "What is wrong with you?" I'm like, "Yo, I'm working off of 2 energy drinks and 3 hours of sleep.
Yes.
Dedication, okay, commitment."
Yes.
But I did it, and I'm so proud of myself to be able to say at the age of 54, going back to school and not just graduating, but graduating with honors on that dean's list for 3 straight semesters because I pushed myself to the limits. I'm surprised at my own self, but it's a great experience. And to know that you have people like Erica, Nimesha, we're family, but to know that they look up to me, always giving me my flowers, always saying, "Mother Tracy, my Tracy, Miss Tracy, we're proud of you." You know, it's and I speak all the time in class, and I tell them, so if y'all are like this and we're all going through, how do y'all think I feel 3 times older than y'all? But guess what? I'll drop a prayer in a minute in a group meeting, asking God to protect and provide all of us. I'll drop a prayer at night or in the morning, asking God to give us strength. You know, and we all encourage each other, and that's what it's all about. And I tell them, I win, I want y'all to win. They win, they want all of us to win. But we all in it together. And to be able to say that we, at this point, have become family, that's a big word. Because you don't find that togetherness everywhere. So it's been a pleasure, but like I said, God knows what you need and when you need it. So it's been an experience as well. It has, but I love it.
You get it all the time. It's me all the time.
All the time.
That's why we love you the way we do.
Oh, it's a blessing. It's a blessing.
Now going back to internship. Miss Dean graduated before we did.
Yes.
So everybody was different for internships, some hours, the papers, everything, like the friendships, everything Miss Tracy said. How was your experience from being an undergrad to being where you're at now and going back for your master's?
I know.
That was a good thing.
Yes.
I'm nervous, but it's my time. I'm ashamed to say it. Like, I was like, oh, I should not be going back. Like, I've been in it for a minute. I think I'm comfortable. But it's one thing I said, when I'm going back, because when I walk in those rooms, I deserve to be there.
Yes.
That's the first thing. The second thing is, I don't let anyone try to pull a wool over my eye and say, oh, we're going to grandfather you in. You've been here, you have the experience on top of your bachelor's. And so you can step into this master's position now. When I go and step into that role, I am going to go, and you're not going to be able to take it from me, because my paper says, you know, and I wish it was Black History Month, but those are like my freedom papers. And that's how I tell my kids, like, those are your freedom papers. When you get it, they cannot take it from you because you earned it. But it is a lot of positions that I have been afforded because of great networking. And so I don't turn a blind eye to that, but I do know that we are in a time where things are no longer being given. And it doesn't matter, you know, who you know. Now it is, okay, are you the right fit? Do you look the part? That is what our current administration is saying. And so now we really need to make sure we have our ducks in a row. But my intern was with Center for Addiction Medicine, Dr. Hayes' office, right down at Maryland General Hospital. And I actually worked there, and I did groups as well, group addiction counseling, and that was because I was there for a moment. But I needed to have someone over me that was an actual specialist in it, so I helped co-facilitate those groups. But that's where I did my internship. It was the same amount of hours. my professor came down and they did the when they come down and review and make sure you're doing what you're doing.
Evaluation.
All of that. And I had to do part-time, so I worked part-time there, and then the other part-time I was able to do my internship there, and it was the same. The same. I was able to pick. That's why I was asking you all, do you get to pick where you want to go? And and I thought that I was going to eventually work there after, but like I said, it wasn't, I am grateful for it, because whatever area that you wind up working in, you still need those internships or those various areas to help you with any part of social work, because even working with my aging population, they have children that are on drugs, so I can spot it. With my members that I was working with or are working with, if they're experiencing some level of overdosing, I can tell. Even it depends on what I guess the areas you work in, but some of mine use X-Lax. I was just thinking about that. That's crazy. The other day, where certain women of a certain generation, they want to continue to have that little girly figure, so they do the X-Lax. And I was like, they wouldn't even know if I told them that. That's a part of that's that behavior. So it's like you need all of that. So it's Morgan hasn't changed much with the internship. It has stayed the same. It's like in a time capsule. But I've learned a lot from there, and I am going back there to do that master's. I am hoping though, and I just want to be real with this. I'm hoping that they give me what I want from that program, because trying to get in, and I want to ask you all this, because this is the real. We try to go back to our people and gain what we should gain from them or support them. But sometimes it feels like we don't get that support back, but we still want to uphold them. And that's across the board if we're talking about institutional. And if we're talking about the sisterhood, okay. Because
this is a big conversation.
That's a big one.
Because guess what? We have had this conversation
in class,
multiple
and outside
times. Yes, multiple times. And I'm be honest. I'm be real. It is nothing personal against Morgan State University. But the experience that I've had this semester alone, an experience that a lot of my classmates have had, it kind of make you question, right? It and I'm gonna tell you, even for certain professors to tell you and other students to tell you, don't settle. Because guess what? It's more out there. Regardless if you trying to keep it within our community, you can't always settle, because it's not always good.
I'm
so you have to pray about it. Right? Because guess what? Too, you got to think about also everybody's experience is different. So you can't go based on what this person have said. Because I'm going to tell you something. They said the master's program is a lot different than the bachelor's program.
I can believe it.
I do believe it. But again, it's what each individual experience is. You can't go by my experience. Because guess what? I've had some issues that maybe Erica has not experienced. We both experienced issues. I don't take nothing from them. But guess what? If I feel as though if me personally, I can get better, so I choose not to go back there to get my master's. And that's just me personally.
I've looked at other universities as well, but I gotta say I'm not settling. I think for one, I'm looking at the finances. It's cheaper than a lot of other universities. And I'm so jealous because you all have this family when you all you're in school together. When I was in school, I was so focused, and I was like, okay, I have a timeline. I need to get this and do this because I am a mom now.
Yeah.
Not once, not twice, but 3 times. Like, this is real. And so I was like, I need to get this and get into my career. I went to school all night because I worked 8 hours during the day. My classes started at 5:30, and I wasn't home until like 9, 10 o'clock at night. So I was a loner. And it was always older, you know, at night. I didn't have the daytime experience of school. So the college life, I've never known, never known it. And I prefer it that way because I am more of I'm focused. I don't like the sidebar stuff. You know, that's just not, that's not me.
But to be honest, and I have to throw this out here too, a lot of us wish that we could have taken all night classes because it would have allowed us to work
During the day.
A lot of us had to quit our jobs because of the way that the courses
Set up.
It was
Yes.
so
we had to take classes, certain classes in the daytime. And then certain classes wasn't offered in the daytime. So you have a mixed match of classes.
Right.
Yes.
That's why I had to quit my job of 20 years.
And this lack of
I had to make a decision.
Yes. Not
Yes.
allowed.
Yes. So it's hard. So that's why a lot of us also are struggling and are like this because we know what each other are going through. It's not easy. You know, and a lot of them, the younger crowd, I can say, have the family, the mom and dad supports. For someone like me, I don't have that support.
Right.
So guess what? I'm living off of, thank God that I qualified and I had 2 non-traditional scholarships that I'm making it work as far as financial aid. But it's me. So guess what? I'm grinding. When I left my job, I stepped out on faith of a mustard seed. I didn't know what I was going to do, how I was going to do it. I just know I came too far not to continue in school. Right? And then I knew that I came too far to even try to change my career. Whereas so I could take those classes at night and continue working at DSS. So I had a choice that I had to step out on faith and make. And it's been hard. It's mentally when you have been providing for yourself and you have no one else, no significant other, no spouse, no family to be your backbone of financial support, it is hard. But I give all honor to God that He has allowed me to make it this far. But it's hard. It's hard. So we didn't have that option. Because if we had that option, a lot of us would have been far along in the game.
And then like going back to like you said for support in classes too. Like for me, I was always a loner. But like I'm like somewhat a social butterfly. When I came to Morgan, I was like, look, I had that same mindset. Look, I'm here to get this done. I was working. Then I picked up another job because times was like getting hard. Yes, I had the support of my family. But it's like too, when you get used to making money on your own and be able to give it to your parents out of the blue, that was for me. I'm like, okay. But then once we came seniors, it was like I had to let something go. And it was so hard because it's like, that I'll never forget too, before we even entered the program, I started fighting with E. I was like, what am I going to do? It been times where I'm like, well, I got to give this up. So I got to take this away. And it was like, it has you playing that question game. Like, even me and Nimesha was talking about it because I'm like, we don't even see each other no more. That's how bad our classes is. Like, especially too, when you're in class, they be like, group projects. You know who to work with and you know who not to work with. If it was not them, I used to be like, look, how am I going to do this? Because it's like, too, when you have that support and that structure, yes, we friends, but it's like, we know our strong points, our weak points. Everybody knew what, even like what Tracy said, her brain not the same, we still help you get it to it, regardless, because it's like, being in those classes and the lack of professors too is so hard. Especially we see it's harder as we about to walk across the stage because they're older. Like they're older. They have 1,000 things going on too. Like some of them have their own practice. So imagine, teaching us, having their families, their personal stuff in a practice. That's a lot.
And
Well,
going
it's
back
what
to
they-
get their
doctors and
degree.
stuff.
But it's
Yes.
what they signed up for, and
Yes.
I'm finding that I'm met with a lot of resistance because I'm enrolling for the online. And it's like, I need you to remember where you came from, what you signed up for. And if you are in this, I'm thinking you're in this to help us out.
Yeah.
I'm not looking for you to, I'm just looking to do my part, and you not to continuously move that goalpost or keep putting up roadblocks. So sometimes I do feel like it's a lot of roadblocks for us at these HBCUs.
It is. And they tell us the same thing though, right? Because they tell us like, y'all signed up for this, but I'm be honest, they threw us in there because none of us was prepared. Nobody knew that we had to quit our jobs, right? Nobody knew that it was going to be stressful as I don't know what, because now not only are we out here trying to get these 400 internship hours before it's mandatory, before you can graduate, right? Nobody told us that these assignments, because I'm gonna tell you something, I've been trying to keep up on these assignments, but when you keep getting assignments thrown in at you, which we have now at the last minute, we're all burnt out. And we're like, okay, but we just continuing on because we know, guess what? This is what we got to do in order to walk across that stage, y'all, on May the 17th, 2025 at 8:30 in the morning.
Okay, throw the time in.
57 more days.
See, look.
Okay? Yes, count down. But so we lean on each other. We vent to each other. We frustrated. Oh, we frustrated. We big mad. I'm not gonna. This is old school talk. We big mad. But guess what? Is it gonna change anything? It's not.
No.
So we just gotta keep on because we know it gotta get done.
Yes.
But this HBCU, everybody be like, it ain't for me. Some people be like, all right, I want to experience it. It's definitely been a roller coaster experience. That's all I can say. But I'm looking forward to that day when I get up on that stage and they say, Miss Tracy Marie, Dean Scholar. Because I want to shout.
Summa cum laude or one of them. I don't know.
I don't know. All of, and I'm going to slap each 6 of my chords as I'm walking up that stage to get that degree. Okay? But it's been an experience. But what I can say to you is if that's where you choose, then you let the best of you come out. And you already know as a social worker to advocate for yourself. Because we do that a lot. We've had to, as students, we have to. You know, because if not, we'd be gung-ho crazy about now.
Speaking about advocate,
this is real.
you sure you want to take the floor with
Yes,
that one?
you be quiet.
Yes,
I
and you
haven't-
never.
well,
And you're not quiet like this, so.
I'm not. Well,
to a degree.
I will say about the experience part, like going through what I've been going through with the professors and these assignments and everything. I will say that Morgan did teach me how to speak up.
Yeah.
Because I was the type that I'm like, all right, I'll deal with it. I'll figure something out. I'll be okay. But once I realized, like, no, this is not okay, I learned to speak up for myself. And it's crazy because when I started at Morgan, I was always in the back of the classroom, you know, just do my assignments, take notes, quiet, take notes. Then when they say it's time to go, I'm texting like, all right, class over. But I didn't start like hanging out. Like I started talking to Erica, and you know that was what, second semester Morgan or like third-ish.
I think I came into Morgan fall 22.
Yeah.
We had Black Families, Spring 23.
Yep.
And then It got closer once we got into the into the school of social work. Yep, that's where it all started.
I met Miss Tracy. I've always seen Miss Tracy in the classes, but I never spoke.
Miss Tracy till that day I had powers.
Quiet.
I was always quiet. Yeah, Miss Tracy was quiet too. But it wasn't until that one day after what was it? Was it case management? And we were all me, Erica, and who else? Shalom. We will always give food, and we come back, and Miss Tracy in the hallway with her feet kicked up, and we like, all right, and we like, you know what, just hang with us. But I will say that I mean, it's unfortunate that certain situations had to happen, but in a way, I'm proud that it did happen because it taught me how to speak up for myself.
Yeah.
So I don't. Yeah.
Yeah, and Mama Bear, I experienced those things with her, and I'm like, oh God, let me keep a still tongue, because it's like, I remember those days, and I'm like, but she gotta go through it, and she gotta speak for herself. I cannot speak for her, but trust me, I'm like, you tell them, and you say this,
and we tell them too.
Yes.
We be in a group chat. It's 4 of us. We be in a group chat, and we be like, especially Erica, you gotta speak up for yourself. And I'll be like, so Erica is really like the mother of the group. Because she'll tell you in a heartbeat. She'll text in a heartbeat. And she be like, that ain't right. No.
Yeah, especially like for me, like when Nimesha said, I think it took me, when I went to community college with different backgrounds, I'll never forget, my professor did not look nothing like me. Mind you, I'm going to college during the pandemic, online. I can't focus. I'm not this type of student. And I had communicators. He was like, look, if nobody tell you, I'm going to tell you, you can speak very well. You need to use that as your power. And I'm like, I don't like speaking. Like, my friends, they lucky if I even start conversations. But then that motivated me to stand up for what I believed in, because even when I was there, I had situations like, that's not right, this not right. And even at Morgan, because I said, I'm going to get that HBU experience. I'm right down the street from it. Cool. There have been times where we had situations, I'm like, look, I can't. And it gave me power to even speak for the class. But sometimes when you speak, sometimes I'd be like, look, I ain't saying a lot. Right. Because like I would have moments. Yes, we would have moments in the group chat like with Tracy. Do I say this? Do I let them figure it out? Because also too, some people be like, certain schools, they take advantage. And people, it's like some people are genuine and some people be like, they just taking advantage. And I had one moment I'll never forget. We had a moment, and it was genuine. But then I found out they were playing with me, and I told her stop. And stop. It snapped. I snapped so bad. We were all together. I snapped. I was like, "Why me?" But it was like, not even in college, even in outside of the walls, people are going to play with you, even in your profession as a social worker. I was like. That right there opened my eyes up, like, look, especially with me dealing with children, I had this conversation with my supervisor. It'd be parents that they're going to play on you, but you got to remember who you're serving. Because, people go through things, but it's like, you got to think, you're serving this population for a reason. Regardless of what they got going on, you still got to serve them. And paper chase. Paper chase is for real. Notes, empathy, active listening, everything. So shout out to Morgan for them role plays, because they saved my butt. Without that as a backbone for me, when it's time to sit on meetings and stuff to see what's going on, you're screwed. You're screwed. Even notes, how they have certain places have their notes set up. You don't have it, you're screwed. Especially dealing with people, with getting them whatever sources and stuff they need, because what it taught me too, like, you gotta be articulate, especially dealing with children. You have to meet them where they at, and then put yourself in their shoes. And I felt like that right there is my call, especially being at a place where I experienced these places at my old elementary middle school. Being able to sit with these kids and be like, look, I know how I feel, but times is different. So you got to meet them where they are. And then like when you have younger siblings, it helps too. So having everybody around you that somewhat knows, it helps a lot. But I'll never forget when I felt that moment of, felt like I was taken advantage of, and I was like, wow, This really happened.
It happens.
Like, I'm the type of person, like, I'm gonna help you at any means necessary. But you gotta know when to help and how much can you do.
Yes.
And I'll never forget, they all like, you need to chill out, you need to chill out. I'm like, but they need help. But then they be like, look, they were in class too. I'm like, all right, I'm stepping back, I'm sorry.
Because Erica's always the one, okay, everybody call on her because they know that she gonna do X, Y, Z. And I had to tell her, look, stop. Because guess what? They taking you up here, right? And as long as you allow them to continue using you, they're going to do it. You already know the ones who's real, genuine, and in it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So us four, we genuinely help each other, right? And I had to tell her, like, I mean, she was like, Erica's mean. What is going on with her?
I said that.
When the blow up
Erica's
happened
being
during
mean.
midterms.
Erica's being mean. What is going on with her? You need to talk to Erica. And I'll be like, okay, how am I address this?
Oh my God.
Erica, stop being mean. Isn't that what I told you? Erica, stop being mean.
If like their definition of being mean was I wasn't saying nothing.
She was not.
I was
saying
just
anything.
so like
Nothing. And then we would, last semester, so we all had, we had classes together. Now, Erica and I only have one class together. We have no classes with Nimesha nor Shalom. So it's like everybody is just pretty much going their own way, right?
Yeah.
But we still have a group chat that's strong. When I get tired of that group chat, I'm putting them on silence because I'm like, I'm focused. I can't. And she'll be like, Mother Tracy. And I'll be like, oh my God. And she'll text me out of the group chat. Did you such and such? I'll be like, oh God, she got me. You cannot not read it because she'll know that you read it. Right? Yeah, I'm telling on myself. But it's real, right? It's real. And we help each other. You have some of those that's out there that just want you basically to do everything for them.
Oh yeah.
And I told her, stop. You have to stop because you have your own stuff going on. We all do. You can't be there for everybody that's in the same class as you was in.
Right.
yeah.
So now she quiet. She sit across from me in senior seminar and she texts me and I'll be like, look at this.
So I'd be like, do I say so?
And I'll be like, no, don't you say nothing. Let it go. Let it be.
Yeah, because that degree only has one name. on it.
Yeah.
One.
And
And you is not their professor.
right.
Yeah.
Okay? You're not getting paid to be their professor.
Yeah.
That's just what it is.
Oh my God.
Yes, that's the truth.
You're right though.
But we all used to get together and after class we would go get lunch, come back, sit, eat, chill, and then everybody branch off. Like Erica and Shalom, we had research together. Nimesha had another class. But it's good that we were able to form that bond.
Right.
And that bond will go a long way. You know, I look at them, we walking across Morgan and go get something to eat, and I'll be like, I'm not doing them steps. I'm just not. So then Erica's like, okay, so we ain't doing the steps, and that means we gonna walk all the way around. I'll be like, all right, I'm doing the steps.
Right. I'm like, I don't know where else you want me to go. I'm like,
Nimesha,
I know.
Miss Tracy, you got your easies on. Get on up them steps. I'll be like, so what that's supposed to mean? But it's a true bond. And then this one stuck on what is it? The chicken.
Oh, sorry.
Oh my.
That's the one that's off campus. Yes.
You won't last
We
there.
had
Yes.
some
We thought it
real
was just us.
genuine
We thought it was just
moments
us.
that we can sit back and say, guess what? We had a genuine, true relationship.
That's beautiful.
Yes.
That's beautiful.
Yes.
And you don't see that a lot with us.
No.
You know, upholding each other up. And now is the time we need to.
Yes.
You know, like that the Powerpuff Girls.
Yes.
The Power Academy.
Yes.
You need
Yes.
to join forces, but we don't. It's very cutthroat.
Yes. Yes.
But
Because everybody's for themselves, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
I can say it's definitely been a safe zone for me because I had one friend from pre-K all the way to high school.
Wow.
And when the pandemic shut our school down, and I was like, okay, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I had to go to a whole another school, so I was like, I don't know who I'm gonna talk to. I don't have any friends. So like high school, my last year of high school, I didn't really have a good high school experience because I was by myself. I didn't know anybody. I mean, I tried to connect, but it just wasn't the same. So coming from that one friend that I've had my whole life, and then coming to college, and then I'm kind of standoffish, but then you guys come and like make it a safe space for me. That meant everything.
Aww. That was reaction because like Nimesha's just so quiet,
Once
and
you
she
get to know
be
me.
she be robbing it up. That's why we can't have class together.
Once I would come in there and crack and say my little whatever, she be like, "Yo, somebody get Miss Tracy."
Yes.
And then I turn around like I ain't never said anything.
Yes. And
Okay.
we can have a good kiki hard
Yes.
to get that work.
Yes.
done.
Yes.
Staying on top of each other.
Yes.
Like earlier, I was like, Nimesha, you know we're on spring break, but you gonna do that? You gonna lay your paper
You
out?
definitely did.
you gonna lay that paper out?
Did.
You gonna lay this out? Like I'm really glad. I'm glad social work brought us together.
Yes.
And I'm glad Morgan did that. Because,
Yes.
like, same thing when I went to community college. I ain't know a soul. I'm mangled, but pew, I'm out that door. I'm like, okay, let's go to work, get their work done, do it all over again. But, like, I'll say HBCUs, being around your people, heck yeah. Education depends on how you take it. Because for me, I was like, CCDC, they prepared me to be around other populations too. And I was like, you know what? Because sometimes, we had the moments where I'm in a class with this person. They gonna look at me like I'm stupid. But I'll never forget. I always use this story when I was in my honors women's class. I would say I was the only African American girl in there, and it was other races. And my professor, she was African American, and they were asking like, the community, where you from? I was honest. I'm like, I'm from the city, Baltimore City, the heart of Baltimore. Where it get rough at? This, that. Them girls looking at me like, all stereotypes was coming out the window. I was just like, but because like the average person would wild out. It paired me. It was like, you know what? It's a learning experience, not for me, but just for you too. Because like not everybody, like. When I went to a summer program, it was like, don't judge me if you never got a chance to really see who I am. Like, don't judge me from where I'm from. You gotta really know, because, like, that's another thing, too. Like, when you hear African-American girls in the city go to school, it's like, for what? What you going to school for? And I'm like, everybody deserves a good education. So, yeah, Morgan, I'm not gonna lie, I had some ups and downs with Morgan, but it prepared me for the urban community a little bit more. It prepared me to be the person I am. And for having y'all too, it helped me more, especially within knowing how to hold and fold, but then learning different backgrounds. Like from you, Miss Tracy, like from being an older student, a non-traditional student, being able to do that, man, I give you all your flowers every day.
You do.
Because it's like when me and Nimesha, I be like, look, I'm sick of this. But then we be like, well, look at Miss Tracy though. And we motivate off each other. And I'm glad that too. And by us being in the major of social work, like we need each other in all types of shapes and forms and areas, because if not, we'll be lost.
And see, that's where I say that I have a standard to uphold, because I have all of them looking up at me, and I'll be like, damn, there's no option. You know what I'm saying? It's no option. I have people tell me, I give you accolades, and because of you, I'm going back to school. That's a big inspiration. I was scared. When I first came back, I was scared because I was like, God, am I going to be able to keep up? Being over the age of 50, my brain is not functioning. They just got out of high school. They fresh out of high school. They in their 20s. They're in their early 30s. Like, God, I'm scared. But when I erased all of that scaredness, and I was like, you know what? God, you allowed me to come back to school for a reason. They all took me in. Miss Tracy, you good? Miss Tracy, you okay? Miss Tracy, you understand? Miss Tracy, start working on that paper. And I'd be like, okay, Miss Tracy, you're not working on that paper. Miss Tracy, work on that paper. Keep me grounded as well, right? So we keep each other grounded. We help each other. And that's what it's all about.
Yeah.
And right, you don't find that everywhere. I lost everybody, but I gained a lot. You know, I gained more than what I lost.
Yeah.
And I thank God because not everybody understand this program. And people look at you, they have no idea what we're going through. We are mentally, some of us are depressed. I'm not going to say I'm depressed, but some of them are depressed. It's mentally challenging. And when you have given up your whole lifestyle and you're stepping into something totally new, out the box, I have to give it my all. Because guess what? Again, I know that there's no option for me failing. And again, I said I had to pull out that cap and gown and hang it up today because it is rough. These assignments, we are in the next month, we have so many events that you have to keep up with your assignments in order to be able to, attend these events with pride, saying, all right, well, I know this assignment is done. I ain't got to worry about this assignment. This assignment is completed. I ain't got to worry about that assignment. You know what I'm saying? We should be able to enjoy this senior year, but it has been rough. It has been very rough, and we've had to lean on each other. Like I said, I'll throw a prayer out there in a group meet in a minute, you know, asking God to give all of us strength to guide and protect us, to help our minds, because we are all struggling, but yet we're all in it and we're helping each other. So it makes it a little bit easier, but it doesn't take away the fact that it's a lot. Social work is not for everybody.
No, it's not. No.
And I tell people, working at DSS for 20 years, I've seen a lot, I've been through a lot, I've experienced a lot, and guess what? It ain't for the weak. It definitely ain't for the weak. But it's an experience, and it's something that I can give back to other people and share with other people and say, look, if you're for it and if you're really with it, you can do anything. Because look at me. I tell people, look at me all the time. I was fully committed, and I said my GPA speaks volumes for me. 3.432. I get my own self accolades, okay? Because it's hard. It's very hard. And as a non-traditional student, coming back and to be able to keep up with them, Lord, I'll be like, oh my God, but I'm doing it. But I reach out to them in a minute, Erica, I need help. Erica, such and such. Erica, or I'll just say help. And they help me. So to be able to even be able to reach out and don't have to go to the professors is a plus. Okay?
I say, like, my little life, I don't know what else to say, but my little snippet, I'll say, like, social work is like what you say, it's not, sometimes it finds you more than you find itself. I feel like it's finding me more within children because, like, I'm real big on education and wellness, and if I can educate and help them with their wellness, affirmation, self-esteem and stuff, I'm gonna do it because I know how I feel. I've been in 6th grade, bullied, self-esteem low, don't know what to do, depression and stuff, and then having those resources, the social worker, the counselor, help you guide you. It's okay. They help me. Let me see if it help. And it's going great.
That's good.
It's going good. It's going good. Anybody else have? I have nothing else to say. Y'all, like, it's like we just hit on so many points.
This is funny.
Yeah.
It's a nice experience.
I just tell you all to finish strong.
Yes.
It's the reward will come. It's not in the money.
Yeah.
You know. And I say to you, the ones that you lost, you just won. That's all. Because I do know that when you elevate, people don't want to see you win. You know, nobody knows I'm going back to school but my family and my house. No one. I didn't tell my job. I know.
It was nationwide.
I didn't, you know. But I guess, I'm putting it out there and I'm speaking it into existence, but I didn't tell because I'm moving silent.
Yeah.
Because I know that everyone is not for
That
me.
part. That part.
And so a lot of people that you thought were in your corner, when you were at a certain level, they wanted you to be there because they felt like they were here. Now that you rising up, it's something in people that don't want to see you.
And I had
So
to
God
learn
moved
that.
them out your way.
Yes. For a reason.
Yeah.
And I had to learn that because I used to think that because I'm happy for everybody and because I want everybody to win. And that's just the type of person I am, right? I'll do anything for anybody. If you say, hey, I like that shirt, guess what? If I got a t-shirt on, I'm taking this shirt off and literally I'm giving you this shirt. That's just me. And I had to realize and understand, Tracy, everybody is not like you.
No.
Tracy, everybody don't think like you.
No.
Tracy, everybody don't do things the way that you would do it. And it was disheartening. It was disappointing, But I'm realizing more and more. Like you say, you can't share everything because you thinking people are happy for you and they not. They're not. So now I'm learning, guess what? You have to move in silence.
Yes.
You can't share everything with everybody because everybody is not happy for you. And it's life.
Yeah. That's the life that we go through.
It's life. And it's a shame that it's like that, but it is.
Mommy, she got some words of encouragement to say before we end off.
I just want to say thank you for having
You're
us.
welcome.
This was really great. I like this.
Thank
I don't
you.
really talk much. So, I do talk, but
Occasionally.
To the ones that she's comfortable
I'm comfortable with you. I'll
Right.
talk to you. But this is really nice.
Thank you.
I felt like I learned stuff about you that I didn't know.
Aw.
So this is a great experience to get closer to my mom, and I'm really grateful that all of you guys are here. And this is really nice.
That's good. I thank you all so much too. Shout out to you, Miss Dean, too, for going back for that master's. Because I watched my mother went back, had us back online too. She went to the University of Phoenix.
Okay.
I was like, look, I want to be just like you, but without all my siblings and stuff. I want to get it while I'm young. Because I was like, I don't know how you can sit here online and do this with chaos. She was like, love it. Hearing y'all, it just like, it makes me like, look, I know they doing something. Because when it's silent, she was like, I get worried. But I'm like, my dad did too, but hey, I'm like, hey, whatever y'all float y'all boat. But like I say, I thank y'all so much for taking the time out of y'all busy day to come here.
Yes.
I appreciate it a lot, especially in honor of Women's Month and social work. Need to give us a spotlight. You know, they now appreciate it on us. It took them a little while, but I'm so glad, blessed, and honored to share it and learn from y'all too. And we got this.
Yes.
We stick together, have
Yes.
that foundation. Do your self-care.
Yes.
Focus on the wellness. Do what you have to do because at the end of the day, it's all going to make sense.
Yes.
We're going to have them bad times, but they not lasting forever. So, I appreciate y'all so very much.
Yes.
This was
Y'all
Yes.
got this.
It's been real.
See y'all next week.
Yes.
Bye.
Bye.
Oh, that was so good.
That was. What you got to say, Mr. Man?